This is VSiN PrimeTime. Live from the Circus Sportsbook in downtown Las Vegas on VSiN, the sports betting network.
We will see if this gets rescinded, but a little bit of breaking news coming out of the association. Anthony Edwards was just called for a technical foul. Now, on the surface, you're going to say, what's the big deal? Well, that is his 16th of the season. That means you are suspended for your next game. That is on Sunday. Happens to be the finale in which you are fighting to stay out of the play-in. So after blowing the game to the Milwaukee Bucks up 94-71 in the fourth quarter, 2 games later, Anthony Edwards can't keep his ish together enough to not get a tech. He is now suspended for the final game against the Utah Jazz.
Nothing with Anthony Edwards would surprise me in terms of bad behavior.
It's not even bad. It's stupid behavior. It's unbelievable. Anyway, we'll keep our eye on that, but we head out to the Progressive guest line. Welcome in from Circa, Sam Cooney. I think I made a mistake. Joins us from behind the counter. No, not physically, but still, he works back there. Sam, we appreciate the time. Let's just start with through 2 rounds. So what's been the biggest surprise to you?
I'd say the biggest surprise to me is that Matt McCarty's 5 under, and he's our worst result. So that is definitely interesting.
Yeah, I think Mike Palm explained that today. You took a bet on McCarty at 775 to 1 for how much money? It's to win $2 million, right? To win $2 million?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
All right, and you dropped his odds, I think, around 275 to 1. So Matt McCarty won in his 3rd PGA Tour start in Utah last October. He's not a player that most golf fans even know. Did you consider Matt McCarty any sort of contender coming into this week? Did you bet on him? Because I know you bet golf.
I didn't really consider him a contender here, especially since it's his first showing.
Sure.
But
right.
I was actually there on Sunday when he won at Black Desert out in Utah. So
okay.
I've definitely been aware of his game, obviously, and being a lefty. But no, I was not expecting him to be playing so well.
Yeah, lefties typically play well at Augusta. And like you said, you were there in Utah in the fall when McCarty won that PGA Tour event. All right, Sam Cooney, golf odds maker at Circus Sports with us. Sam, who's been the biggest bust so far? Is it Brooks Koepka, Tony Finau, John Rahm? Who's been the biggest disappointment in your estimation through 2 rounds of the Masters?
Well, I'd say for the average fan, Brooks Koepka's definitely got to be the most disappointing, especially given his past performance in majors. That was him missing the cut was very good for us, so you're not going to hear me complain about it much. Mm-hmm. I'd say another big disappointment for bettors would be Sepp Straka missing the cut. He kind of melted down there at the end. That was also good for us, so you're not going to hear me complain about that either.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Koepka, Straka, I know, are attracting a pretty good amount of betting action this week. All right, so would there be a bad result for Circus Sports at the top of the leaderboard here? Let's talk about Justin Rose, Bryson DeChambeau, Rory, Scotty, Corey Connors, Shane Lowry. Would there be what's the worst case scenario for Circus Sports, and who wins this golf tournament Sunday?
So Rory would just be a very small loser for us. Same with Bryson. Scotty would be a massive, massive, massive winner. We win to Justin Rose a pretty good chunk, and a really big chunk to Corey Connors as well. The next biggest loser would be Shane Lowry at 5 under. And then, obviously the Matt McCarty would be an issue.
Sam, as you look ahead to the next 2 rounds, for bettors who are looking to dive back into this, what are some statistics, what are some metrics you look at for guys that you think, okay, this is sustainable, this is going to portend for good things to come for the next 2 rounds?
Well, the strokes gained around the green is definitely super key. Like we talked about the other day, this golf course really comes down to irons and around the green. Putting obviously matters. You can't go out there and have a bunch of 3 putts and miss short ones like Scheffler did today. But when it really comes down to it, it's the irons and around the green. So I would really try to key in on guys that are hitting their irons well and getting up and down.
If you didn't have a bet on any futures pre-tournament, any outrights, who would you play going into it? We got a chance here. We could see a Bryson, Rory, Scotty showdown on Sunday afternoon. I don't know if you want to bet one of the favorites, but who would you bet if you didn't have any action on this right now?
I mean, I'm obviously a little biased because I made our prices, but if you throw price out, I'd still be looking at Scheffler. This golf course is just perfect for him. I know he hasn't been playing all that well, but he's still around. You know, he's one of the guys that he can go out there and not play his best game and still be up at the top of the leaderboard. Just got to get some short putts to fall, and I think he'll definitely be around on Sunday.
Follow him at SCooney3, Sam Cooney, Circus Sports Golf Odds Maker. So you put the prices up, the adjusted odds board tonight. What did you make those three? Do you see the prices here, JVT? We got the DraftKings prices. I don't know if we got the graphic with the Circa prices up yet. You can't go too high on Scotty, right? Because you'll take sharp money on Scotty if you go too high. What'd you make the prices on those top four?
So right now we're at Rory plus 345, Bryson plus 385, and we are the best price in the world on Scotty Scheffler at plus 460, followed by Rose at plus 850.
Why does nobody believe in my guy Justin Rose, Sam?
I mean, people just don't like to bet the guy that's in the lead. And, you know, I think Rose has done a lot of his damage to Augusta with the putter. And I think it's hard for people to believe that putting is going to be all that sustainable with three killers chasing him. But, you know, Justin Rose has a lot of experience, and he plays well in big events and handles pressure very, very, very well. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised one bit to see him hold on and get the job done.
All right, let me ask you individually about these players. Give me your response. Would you be surprised if this player was right there to win on Sunday afternoon? Corey Connors.
I want to say no, but truthfully, yes. I have a Corey Connors ticket, and I don't know if you guys watched him play much today.
Sure.
Me and Jeff watched the end of the round there. I've never seen a guy leave so many putts short. Every time he misses a putt, it always comes up 2 feet short. And that worries me a little bit. Especially like being Corey Connors, you gotta go out there and get the ball to the hole. You have nothing to lose. You've never won a major. Nobody really expects you to win. You just got to get the ball to the hole. So I'd like to see a little bit more of that.
Glad you said that. Nothing aggravates me more when I'm watching golf than guys who don't get the ball to the hole. You can't make it if you don't get it there. And so many putts are left short because of nerves, guys being conservative. Go for it. Be aggressive. And Corey Connors, you're right, leaves so many putts short. Okay, so I agree with you there. How about Shane Lowry?
You know, I wouldn't be super surprised the way that he rolls it and the way that he kind of emerges on weekends. He's proven that he can win majors, although I think he probably waits to win his next major until they go back to Portrush this year. But no, I would not be surprised at all to see him around on Sunday either. All
right, let's go. I agree with you there. I think Lowry can win this thing. How about Colin Morikawa?
You know, he really closes round out well today. I think tomorrow when he goes back out, the first 9 holes will dictate a lot of where he ends up. He kind of seems to be on a little bit of a heater, and the vibe should be high going into the last round. And another guy that's also proven that he can win majors.
All right, one more for you. Terrell Hatton.
Oh, I mean, he's a great result for us, but again, we all know Tyrrell Hatton has a little bit of an anger issue. Can he keep that together on a Sunday playing with Scotty and Bryson and Rory? I'm not 100% certain. Is the talent there? Absolutely, but I just don't know if he can keep it together mentally.
That's about what I'm thinking there. Sam, when was the last time you went to the grocery, bought a carton of eggs, and then made scrambled eggs or eggs in your kitchen? Never?
Probably no, I have. Why do you ask?
We got a debate about this tonight.
Well, it's not much of a debate, Sam. Obviously, at Augusta, the egg salad sandwich, among many others, are a very popular thing. I have had an egg salad sandwich here today in studio from the Great Stadium Swim upstairs, and that led into Youmans making a ridiculous, hyperbolic statement in which he said that most men don't cook scrambled eggs, to which I responded, that's a ridiculous statement, and we are finding out that it is indeed a ridiculous statement.
Not ridiculous. When's the last time you did it? You can't even remember the last time you did it, right?
It's over a month for sure.
Okay, yeah, within a month.
That's a long time ago.
What are you talking about? It's like a month ago. You were hoping he was going to say like years.
Never.
It's like some of these other guys that are checking it. David Deneen saying he hadn't done it in 30 years.
30 years. David Deneen checked in 30 years. Come on.
Do you think he remembers the day he did it?
I'm surprised. I'm surprised.
All right, Sam. Hey, before we get you out of here, one of the guys I'd like to get your thoughts on the last 60 seconds. We talked with John Hasselbauer earlier, a PGA golfer and gambler and bettor, said Hideki Matsuyama might not be too surprising if he makes a run. What do you make of Mats?
No, he's definitely hitting his irons well, and another guy who's proven that he can get the job done here. Just gotta, if I remember right, I don't have it right in front of me. He's lost a lot this week with the putters, so if he can get a few of those putts to go in, I would expect him to be there as well.
All right, Sam, we appreciate it. We thank you for your time, and go make some scrambled eggs, or maybe over easy a little bit of bacon. It's a very good breakfast.
We'll see what we can do.
I appreciate it. Sam Cooney, again, golf odds maker here at Circa. Former college golfer, too, right?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, there's got to be a lot of eggs consumed in that past
junior
life.
college golf.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by that.
Oh, disappointed. Not even surprised.
I think most guys can make bacon, but I don't know about eggs. I just can't believe it.
I'm so
I think more guys are like David Deneen. 30 years, no making eggs.
Well, tell you what, I would trade all the eggs that I've eaten in my life for that sweet jumper. I've seen it from David Deneen. It's pretty nice. We come back, we'll hear from some of the guys over at Augusta over the last 45 minutes here on VSiN PrimeTime.
This is VSiN PrimeTime on VSiN, the sports betting network.
All right, we get some other folks to check in. Kelly Bidlin.
Of course he makes eggs.
I like how he says it as an insult.
Huh?
Says, I don't often, but it's like one of the easiest meals to make ever. Are you disappointed
No
in Kelly
response.
Bidlin?
No, I'm not surprised. Not surprised.
I feel like you should take that as an insult.
I told you, if I want eggs, I go to Denny's.
I'm not surprised.
Our producer, Justin, I knew he was going to say yes, he make eggs.
Wow, what about this accusation from Zach Cohen? More men in America have made/make scrambled eggs than have been to Portillo's once.
Well, it's a sad statement on males in America today.
I mean, I'm probably going to disappoint you. I've never been to Portillo's, and I've made many eggs in my life.
Well, let's say Portillo's, first of all, is not easily available coast to coast.
Right.
Have you been to a Chicago food joint like Rosati's or a place like that? Have you been to Amore? Have you been?
Yeah, I was going to say I've been to proclaimed Chicago places. Yes, right. I've been to Amore and stuff like that. Yes.
Okay. Well, that should count too.
And I will say, my favorite version of the hot dog is the Chicago dog.
Oh, it's great.
It's the best. I think it's the best way to make a hot dog. That's the one with the tomatoes, right? And the peppers and all that kind of stuff.
All
right?
that stuff.
Yep,
yeah.
Yes. You like that?
Love Chicago dogs.
Even with the tomatoes?
Eat Chicago dogs for breakfast.
Okay, all right. I figured you'd pick the tomatoes off or something.
No, all that stuff's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to be like, no men eat tomatoes.
By the way, I like tomatoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. I thought we were going to go down the path of men don't eat tomatoes because that was going to be wild. All right, let's hear from Rory McIlroy. A wild stretch for Rory over the last couple of days. Yesterday was a very crazy up and down type of performance. And then today gets off to a slow start but burns up the back nine. Here was Rory on his performance.
Overall, just proud of myself with how I responded today after the finish last night. I just had to remind myself that I played really good golf yesterday, and I wasn't going to let two bad holes sort of dictate the narrative for the rest of the week. And, but yeah, just ultimately, just proud of how I, got back into it today.
You're going to complete this? The career Grand Slam? We're going to get this done, Rory, this weekend?
Okay, so I'm writing something for VSiN.com right now. I think we could be headed for a Sunday afternoon showdown, and this would be a classic if we got Rory, Scotty, Bryson, right? Mm-hmm. 3 heavyweights going head-to-head down the stretch on the back nine at Augusta. I give Rory a decent chance. I mean, he came back from the dead today. 4 under on Thursday afternoon, double, goes in even par. A lot of people throwing dirt on him. He's 6 feet under. He comes back today and goes 6 under and gets right back into this thing. So I think he's probably – I hate this cliche sometimes, but it feels like he's almost playing with house money in a sense. That he was written off yesterday.
Sure.
And he's back today, so he's probably a little bit looser going into the weekend, not playing with a ton of pressure. And you can't throw out those 2 holes, those 2 doubles on the back on Thursday. But if you did, nobody's been better on this course for 2 days than Rory.
Sure.
Huh?
Yeah, I would agree.
So my dilemma right now is I have bets on Scheffler at plus 450 and 5-1. DeChambeau, I added last night 8-1. Do I have to add something on Rory tonight in the plus 330 range just to make sure I have those 3 covered if that's what it comes down to on Sunday afternoon? Because even though I've got Justin Rose, I've got Shane Lowry, I've got Colin Morikawa, I'm not expecting those guys to win. It'd be great if one of them did. You kind of have to have all your bases covered in case it comes down to those 3 on Sunday afternoon.
That's where I find my dilemma too, because I have Rose like you do, but I really outside of that I don't have anybody else. Motts and Oberg are the 2 guys that I have in the closest to contention outside of that. Mm-hmm. So who do I add? And of course, I'll add like maybe 2, 3, if that, and then Shane Lowry will come up and win. Right?
Well, that's where I'm lucky there.
Yeah.
I got Lowry at 45-1.
Yep, I don't. Yeah. So that's the predicament I find myself in. But look, I mean, McIlroy, it's a case of we've just been waiting for it. Wouldn't be shocking at all if he just continues this level of play.
I think it's a little bit shocking what he did today.
Sure.
After he faded late on Thursday, he comes back on Friday, he goes 6 under, and he was so good today. I think that's what stunned a lot of people.
Well, and the way it looked, right? He birdies the first hole, doesn't really do anything until the back 9, and then all of a sudden erupts for what he was able to do. So, yeah, Rory, I think I am going to add Rory because I do like that aspect of it too, which is what you're talking about. The fact that he is nearly playing with house money, that he has just come back from the dead essentially, and now is trying to play keep up when you have these guys around him like DeChambeau, like Scheffler, and everybody's just kind of waiting for the shoe to drop when it comes to Rory to ultimately fail here. So I like the way he's playing. It's really hard to deny how well he's been playing. And again, if you're just joining us, the updated odds, Rory and DeChambeau co-favorites over at DraftKings at plus 330, Scheffler plus 360 here at Circa, as we just talked about with Sam Cooney. As he mentioned, the best price in the world on Scotty Scheffler to win this thing if you want it. Maybe I should add a little bit of that.
Well, best price in the world is plus 460, right?
Yes. That was the price they have here, and if he's accurate about his statement, best price in the world, that is indeed the best price in the world.
I think that's probably true because Derek Stevens was in studio with us on, let's see, that was Thursday.
Yes.
And he said, I actually looked at the chart, he had it there. Circus Sports is a big winner on Scheffler.
Yep. Booked it. That's how they booked it. He told Midget Pauly that earlier today too.
Yep, you can afford to put up that price. So if you like Scotty, and I know somebody who does, Pat Webb from Portsmouth, Ohio, was outside the studio tonight. Pat's played in the VSiN Invitational Golf Tournament.
He an egg maker?
He's never made eggs in his life.
Okay.
Pat said he was going to bet Scheffler at anything around plus 350 or 4-1. So you're getting 460. That's much better than you would have thought you would get on a guy who's only 3 strokes back, and you can make that up in a half hour.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I said Justin Rose had a 3-stroke lead after the first round. That means very little when you got 3 rounds to go.
Sure.
3-stroke leads can disappear seriously in like 30 minutes. And that's why Scotty at plus 460. If you don't have anything on him, I would say it's circa. Hit it. He could look like a totally different guy tomorrow. To me, he's looked like a little out of it.
Yeah.
Almost a little dazed and confused. Or just like not locked in. But he could look like a totally different guy on Saturday and Sunday.
So let me ask you, so of these prominent names at the top that you don't have a piece of, what is one that you do not want a part of?
Well, that's right. You don't want to bet too much, right?
Right. Who are you willing to cross
like every
off?
player and say, I've been at the horse track before at Del Mar, and you got all these guys. There's 9 horses in a race,
right.
And you got guys who are betting on like 7 of the horses. You don't want to do that. How about, since I've got something on Bryson, Scheffler, Rose, I'm not going to bet. I thought about it last night. I seriously thought about betting Corey Connors, and I said, I can't see him closing the deal, so I'm going to let that one go. I'm not going to bet Connors. I've got something on Lowry, Morikawa pre-tournament. I'm not going to bet Terrell Hatton. I'm not going to bet Hovland, Oberg, or Matsuyama. I'll take my chances, right? You just can't bet. So I'm probably going to bet something on Rory tonight. That way I got the big three covered, and then I've got three more guys who got a legit chance there in Rose, Lowry, and Morikawa.
Sure.
Just don't want to bet too many.
Of course. That's my dilemma, too. I'll add a couple, but and then we'll sweat it out and see if we have it. At me, JVT, at Matt Youmans 24/7. The egg debate of 2025. Ray checks in, says, I drive a 2500 Duramax diesel truck. I'm a dude. I scramble 4 to 6 eggs every day for breakfast with variations of hash browns, bacon, sausage, chorizo with those eggs, pepper jack cheese, and pico as a topping.
I like chorizo.
Yeah.
I wish I could make that at home.
I like the Duramax. I'm a dude. Also, Scott checks in and says, did Matt Youmans just admit that he has a tomato garden? You're a big tomato guy.
Did not admit that. I've never been in a garden.
Okay, you've never stepped foot inside of a garden?
No. Come on. Why would I do that?
Not even by happenstance?
No.
Just like walking through somewhere? That is not something I could corroborate and or debate. There's probably many people who have not stepped
I do
inside
like tomatoes, though. Always have.
Not as versatile as the great potato, though. The potato has many different uses.
Love potatoes and tomatoes.
From vodka all the way down to food.
Like I said, I like eggs, but I just don't stand in the kitchen and make them.
Bottom of the seventh inning. I don't think you stand in your kitchen very often unless you're waiting for your microwave to finish. Bottom of the seventh inning, and the Astros are taking it to the Halos here. Bases loaded, 1 out, and up 11-2 in the bottom of the seventh. I also wanted to update really quickly. Just one game. It's very early on, but just to make you sweat a little bit here, Golden State Warriors trail the Portland Trail Blazers in the early going. 16-13, though. 4:20 left to go in the first. But just something to keep an eye on after we watch the Warriors mess it up against the Spurs the other night.
What, the Warriors have been a little bit shaky here in the past week or week and a half.
They have, yes. It's funny. They go through that stretch where they win 3 games in 4 nights.
Looked really impressive.
And then ever since then, it's like they put all of their energy into that and have been kind of just skating a little bit down the stretch.
Well, they had the road trip where they went to San Antonio, Memphis,
very
and
long,
L.A., right?
Mm-hmm.
And won 3 big games they had to win, and since then it kind of feels like
and they're
spent.
right back on the road here tonight in Portland. Folks, go to VSiN.com/subscribe. Sign up now, and you can get access to the exclusive betting splits. We have a summer special for you. Everything we do until August 1st for less than $60. Go to VSiN.com/subscribe. Get started today. It's not just the betting splits, but it's everything in between. And you can get yours at VSiN.com/subscribe.
This is VSiN PrimeTime on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Man, I am excited. We have 2 playoff series set in the association, both in the Eastern Conference, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
The New York Knicks will take on the Detroit Pistons. Indiana Pacers will take on the Milwaukee Bucks. Knicks, Pacers, both the home teams in those postseason series. And this is the best part, I think, about like today. In Vegas, it's not going to be as quick. We'll probably get these today too, not for every book. But usually you would have to wait till like the season was over to get a playoff series price.
Right.
We've already got them up. Knicks, and this is a price I disagree with, minus 425.
That seems kind of high.
In the series with the Detroit Pistons, Pacers $1.75 favorite over the Milwaukee Bucks.
Probably make that one a little bit lower. I was thinking Pacers 150. I was going to say Knicks 250.
Knicks, one of the early things that stick out very much outside of the series price, over 5.5 games, just at minus 115, seems like a very manageable price to lay to get 6 or more games in that series with the Detroit Pistons. And we'll be looking for some spreads as well for the series too. But initial look there would be Pistons plus 330 on the series price. And to go over 5.5 games, I think the real bet there, minus 115. Can't wait. Pacers, I want to look more into that one. Because the other thing, the looming specter, if you will, is the status of Damian Lillard. And whether or not he's going to be back for the Milwaukee Bucks. Remember, had the clots in his calf.
That's a good point,
right?
Yeah.
And
so I was thinking that he would be back for the postseason, but you can't assume that, right?
Right, we cannot, especially with something that serious where it wasn't that far away from now. And will he be available to play is the real question. I would lean toward probably not, but crazier things have happened, and he has not been officially ruled out for the postseason, and that's always going to be sitting there the whole time. And teams will love to play games, right? The Bucks would love to just leave it hanging out there. Well, yeah, maybe. maybe game 2, maybe game 3. I don't know.
Right.
You know?
Which is what you should do. Never tell your opponent your plans.
No,
if
you
you
should
don't
deliver
have to.
Should deliver them.
Let's see. Quick update from baseball. We got a rain delay in the Bronx. I know you were calling for this rain delay a long time
it's
ago.
pouring,
right?
yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's top of the 6th, though, was when the rain delay took effect. Giants up 9-1 on the Yankees.
Oh, okay.
Bad news for you. Astros 11, Angels 2, top of the 8th.
Yep.
Angels pitching staff fell apart tonight. Let's see, what else?
Well, the other notable thing we should put up is middle of the second inning, still only 2 runs scored in Mets athletics. Right, that's the big story. Are these games? Is this a bandbox? Are we just going to get all these games to go over the total? Last game in Sacramento was 2-1. Here we are again, and so far 2-0. Only 2 runs scored.
White Sox bombed the Boston Red Sox 11-1. Highest scoring game of the season for the White Sox. Rays 6-3 over the Braves. How about this? I know a lot of people are saying don't panic. They're going to be okay in the long run, which might be true, but the Braves are now 3-10 after losing tonight.
Hey, people will make fun of me for this. Folks, I know it's a 162-game season. These games matter. These are 13 games that the Braves aren't getting back, right? Those are 10 losses the Braves aren't getting back.
They're 0-8 on the road.
Yeah, these do matter. So I'm with you. You're not full-blown, it's over, but obviously the probability of getting into the postseason has taken a massive hit for this team. Being 3-10,
yeah,
and in a tough. You're right, because in the tough division, look, the Marlins and Nationals aren't winning the World Series. They have been surprisingly solid teams in the early going. They're better than the Braves right now, at the very least. Just one game under 500 for the both of them, and then of course you have the 2 powers at the top, and the Phillies and the Mets. So I'm with you. You're not full blown; it's over. But when you're talking about not only, and then zoom out even more, the National League, every team in the Central, save for the Pirates, throw them all in a hat and pull one out. They're all the same team, right? That's a tough division that you have to contend with for wild card spots if you're the Atlanta Braves. The West, look how good the National League West is. You think you're gonna sneak and grab a wild card when you have the National League West where 3 teams are already working on their 10th win? We say working on because the Giants, up right now in a delayed game, are 9-3.
Giants look like they could be for real.
Yep.
The Padres look like they're going to be better than a lot of people were predicting doomsday for the Padres.
And the D-backs are going to wake up at some point.
And D-backs are, I still think the D-backs are going to be better than those 2 teams, talking about the Giants and Padres.
Yep. And while they have started off slow as well, not anywhere near as slow as what we're looking at for the Atlanta Braves. Right now, still to make the playoffs, Braves, yes, minus 185.
Okay.
So if you want to know, you can get plus 150. Yeah. These are numbers at DraftKings, and then, of course, shop around to see exactly what it is. But I'm with you that I am not somebody that sees teams get off to slow starts. But that's fine. You have time, but you don't get those 13 games or odd games or so back. And teams have made plenty of runs coming back, and
they're just not playing good baseball.
Yes,
too.
that's the other part.
You got to be concerned in the long run. How good is this team really? I'll tell you what. If you're at Petco Park tonight watching the Rockies and Padres, you might be falling asleep in your seat. Total of 4 hits and no runs, middle of the 5th inning. Not an exciting game in San Diego tonight between the Rockies and the Padres.
Such a great place to watch a game, though.
It's great.
Go get a beer bat.
Might be my favorite park in MLB.
Oh, it is. It's fine. For me, it is.
Top 5 for sure.
Yeah. Well, I've only been to 4, so top 5 for me for sure.
It's your top 4.
It's definitely in my top 5.
You've been to the Big A in Anaheim.
Yep,
I know that.
Yep, we're going back
Dodger
again this
Stadium,
summer.
Right?
Haven't been to Dodger Stadium.
You haven't?
No. Actually, I've only been to 3. No. I've been to Oakland. Great park.
Oh, boy.
You've been to
Oakland,
Anaheim, San Diego, San Francisco, and then L.A. Yeah, there we go.
San Francisco's a great park, too.
That one's good, too. I didn't like – so what gets it, as you will know, you will corroborate, what makes San Diego number 1 is not only the park itself, which is absolutely fantastic, and the beer bat with Tony Gwynn's Pale Ale out there. Was it 3.0 – what was his batting average?
It was 317
something
or
like that,
I
yeah.
don't know.
So that is great. But the area around it is fantastic with all the bars and everything like that. Actually, and I lie, I've been to 5. But I didn't watch a baseball game there. I did go and sit in the press box over at, is it Chase still? The Diamondbacks ballpark?
394, by the way, is Tony Gwynn's Pale Ale.
Wow.
That was his it was his best season.
That was his best season.
I thought maybe it was named after his career batting average.
So did I. But so actually, I have been to 5. I did go to the Diamondbacks ballpark, but I went there for a bowl game.
Okay.
So I did very much enjoy that ballpark, but I did not.
UNLV bowl game?
Yes, but I did not experience baseball in it. I experienced a football game, but still thought it was a very brilliant ballpark.
Oh, it's great, yeah.
Area around it, not that much to do, and the bars closed at like 11, so that was kind of tough. But anyway, I digress. 26-24, Warriors up on top. They're going to take a lead into the first quarter. Or it should be 26-20. I was blocked there.
Wow.
A three
Tony
from
Gwynn
the top of the key.
Tony Gwynn batted .338 for his career.
Holy crap.
That guy's insane.
I was very much underselling that when I said that's career. It's like 3-0 something. Yeah,
he did bat .317 in 2 seasons, back-to-back seasons.
That was wild.
Yeah, .338 for his career. And I think Rafael Devers had more strikeouts in the first 2 weeks of the season than Tony Gwynn had.
Yep. All right, Warriors up by 6. Many people believing in the Golden State Warriors. They're going to be able to pull this off. But not many people believing in Justin Rose. Let's hear from my guy, your guy. Everybody's rooting for him. Justin Rose, the guy that leads after 1 round. Well, he leads after 2 now. Here's what he had to say.
Decent day, for sure. My wedge was good, kept me, some really good up and downs actually on holes like number 4, number 8, number 10. So that kind of really kept, the round was in a good spot at that point. Nice birdie at 12. And then, the finish, obviously, just a few too many 5s coming in. Didn't really take advantage of the par 5s, although they were both playing tough today. They were into the wind. I didn't feel like there was much value in trying to force birdies out of those holes.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed with Rose on the back. And by the way, do you know at the Masters you're not supposed to say the back 9?
Oh, really? What are you supposed to say?
They got a bunch of sayings that are forbidden by the stuffy people at Augusta National.
That doesn't surprise me.
You can't say the rough. And the golf announcers are not supposed to say the rough. They're supposed to say the second cut.
Okay. Not pretentious at all.
No. Anyway, watching Justin Rose today, I thought he got really conservative on the back, and he was laying up, and, he was playing it smart.
He was.
And he was leaving everything short. I don't know if he was wearing down mentally or physically, but he was getting really conservative, and you could tell it looked like a guy who was playing with the lead and just trying to protect the lead and not make a big mistake.
Yes. I keep going back. The one that sticks out to me was one of the par 5s down the stretch of the – what am I supposed to call it?
The inward 9.
The inward 9.
Yeah.
It was the one with the little river right in front of the green.
Rays Creek?
Yeah, and so he didn't try to get he was just trying to get it on the green. I don't know, but he definitely short-armed it where he was going to set himself up for a birdie opportunity and maybe get it, I think, 10 under at that point, and he just doesn't get it. I'm like, man, come on, man.
He's playing scared.
Got to stay aggressive. Got to stay aggressive. Speaking of scared, we should note, so this is the downside of watching all these games all at one time and not being able to watch with sound in every single moment. Steph Curry allegedly injured his thumb and is back in the locker room for the Golden State Warriors. Something to watch here. Was getting guarded up close, went to create some space with his defender and just jams the right thumb on the knee of his defender. Shakes the hand out, went back to the locker room. Doesn't look like anything crazy, but just something worth monitoring there.
Well, it is a shooting hand.
Yes, it is.
That's his right hand.
Very much a shooting hand. So we'll keep our eye on what is happening out in Portland and see if Steph Curry makes his return to the floor. When we come back, man, I'm on fire today. I'll tell you why.
This is VSiN PrimeTime on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Coming up in about 15 minutes from now, Sports Gambling Podcast. Guys, we'll take it from here through the rest of the late evening. We are tracking what's going on in Portland because the news so far of the evening is the status of one Steph Curry. Jammed his thumb on a defender's knee, went back to the locker room. Still waiting for official word on what's going on with Curry right now, but nothing specific. So we're waiting for it, and we will see what is going to happen to Steph in terms of his health. 30-23.
Draymond Green just took a rebound, went coast to coast, dished it off to Jimmy Butler for a layup, and he got fouled. Draymond can handle the point. Well, Curry's out. How about that?
Very true, yes.
Rockets and Lakers start here in about actually tipping off right now?
Yes, it should be right now. Yes.
Lakers going to close 14-point favorites, total of 228. Who'd you say is out for the Rockets tonight? Basically
pretty much
everyone,
like a good chunk of their whole entire starting lineup right now. And almost everybody you're looking for here. Amen Thompson is not going to play tonight. Dylan Brooks is out tonight. Let's see. Alperen Şengün, Jabari Smith has been out. Amon Thompson, Fred VanVleet. So pretty much all of them. That's who is not going to play. Rightfully so. They don't have anything to play for. Last 30 seconds of the third quarter, this game is going to come down to the wire, and it's a big one out in the Western Conference. 93-90 Memphis up on top on the road against the Denver Nuggets. Of course, both teams fighting, scrapping, clawing to keep out of the play-in race. Okay. So I mentioned I'm on fire, Matt. Had a good run here today. The egg bit has been great. Gotten a lot of reaction on the eggs and whether or not men make eggs.
Wait, I cannot believe how many tweets we have on the eggs.
It's
I had no idea that topic was going to blow up like that, but I just looked and got like 50 mentions on Twitter. It's like, okay.
It's a hot topic. It's a hot topic. Do you make eggs? So I tweeted this out earlier today with a photo that we cannot pull for copyright issues. But Mitch Moss was out of the pool today with Paul Howard with some ridiculous-looking sunglasses. You will see in the video coming up shortly. And I said, all that money from the Florida ticket, you couldn't afford better sunglasses, Mitch Moss, huh? Now, Mitch did read this while on the air. Try not to be distracted by his ridiculous sunglasses as he cops to, you know what? You're right. These are terrible.
JVT is chiming in on X, by the way.
Yeah.
He took a screen grab of me. I do have swim trunks on today.
With the feet, you took the shoes off?
I'm barefoot too.
Yeah, you went in the pool.
I dipped in the pool, but you can't see that on TV here.
Okay.
JVT said all that money from the Florida ticket, and you could not afford a better pair of sunglasses.
Oh no!
I have to own up. These sunglasses are horrible. But I never thought about it.
Them?
I never thought I always lose them. So it's totally on me. I should have thought we knew that we were going to be out here 2 weeks ago.
Got that, yeah.
But I never thought about wearing sunglasses or going to get new ones until today. I'm in a pinch.
Yeah.
I'm like, where are sunglasses at? It's the only pair I could find. Same exact thing. Lorraine bought me. I told her, do not do this. I will lose them within a week.
Damn right.
I'm begging you.
Something will happen.
She spent who knows how much money on, I think it was Oakley or Prada, whatever it was. And I was like holding them like it was gold. Within a year, they're gone. No clue. I don't know if somebody stole them, if I just left them in the back seat somewhere, threw them in misplaced them somewhere, gone. I'm never spending money on nice sunglasses ever again.
Yep.
Can I tell you, as somebody who likes to take, there you go, put your sunglasses on. Yours were much better.
These are Maui Jim sunglasses. You want to guess how much these cost?
$120.
I'll double that.
Okay, $240.
But I got a good deal on them
But they're high-quality glasses.
At the Maui Invitational. I agree with Mitch. I wouldn't spend a lot of money on sunglasses because you usually sit on them, you break them, or you lose them.
I don't know. I don't want to go anti-man card here, but I do keep my sunglasses in the sunglass thing in my car.
But you know what? In the summer in Vegas, it gets really hot up there.
Okay.
Right? You ever grab your glasses out of there and they're too hot to even touch?
That's a good point. That's a good point. So can I tell you something here?
Yes.
As somebody who likes to, poke, jab, make fun of, when you get somebody really good.
By the way, Stephen Curry's back.
Yeah, he is back. He's got his thumb wrapped up. So that clearly is bothering him, but he is back, hits a 338.27. When you've hit a really good soft spot? When someone spends about 90 seconds explaining what is happening. That was a 90-second explanation from Mitch as to why he was wearing those ridiculous sunglasses.
Excuses for why he wore them?
You got them.
I was in a pinch, and Lorraine did this and did that.
I had better ones, but I lost them, I promise. Like, okay, buddy. They still look ridiculous. So kudos to me. Absolutely fantastic. All right, Curry's back in the game. We'll keep an eye on it. Best Bets brought to you by G-Bank, the official bank of VSiN. So I'll spin it this way, Matt. We head into the third round of the Masters. Who will you add?
All right, Rory plus 330, 350, somewhere in that range. I think I'm going to do that tonight. I hope, and I think there's a good chance we're headed for a classic Sunday afternoon showdown with Scotty, Rory, and DeChambeau. You remember when Rory and DeChambeau dueled last year in the U.S. Open, and Rory coughed it up. He's looking for redemption here. I think he's going to hang around. You throw out those 2 holes. He's been the best player on the course the first 2 days. DeChambeau looks dangerous. Scotty's always lurking. He could get in the zone Saturday and Sunday. So the only guy that I don't have anything on there is Rory, plus 330. I do have pre-tournament bets on Shane Lowry, Colin Morikawa, and Justin Rose. So that covers you on 6 of the top players on the leaderboard. If somebody else sneaks in and wins it on Sunday afternoon, I guess so be it. I'll deal with that maybe at some point Sunday afternoon. But I think that pretty much covers most of the things that you need going into the weekend, because I feel like Rory's going to hang around now, don't you? It's
yes.
He can play without a lot of the pressure because he's already back from the dead after what he did Thursday afternoon and what he did today to bounce back from that implosion.
I would agree with all points.
That's probably it. I don't want to bet too many players, so I think Rory's the guy I would look to add tonight.
I think I'm going to add 2. That price on Scotty Scheffler is pretty tempting at plus 460.
Yeah,
as somebody who doesn't have him, and obviously, again, he didn't play well, but to not play well and to only be 3 strokes back. So to add him at that price, as well as Rory McIlroy, I think the 2 guys I'm going to add. I'll risk it because I don't have anything on Bryson, and just kind of sit back and hope that those 3, Justin Rose, Rory, and Scheffler, can take me home in some form or fashion.
Right.
Obviously, rooting for Rose to get it done at the higher price.
By the way, shout out to professional sports bettor Chris Zanook. We have our Masters Gambling League, and we had the draft Wednesday night at Oasis Bar and Grill here in Vegas, and a bunch of bookmakers and pro bettors there. We had a great group. We had 10 teams, and most teams are 2 guys. Your teammates, Doug Kazarian. And Chris Zanook was drafting, I believe, 2nd or 3rd, and right now he's in first place headed to the weekend, right?
Yep, he is in first place with a total with a score of 560 to par of 576, so 16 under par. I believe Doug and I are in 3rd place. In second is, I don't know, who is Dandy?
That's Dan Saley and Randy McKay.
Okay, all right, there we go.
Randy and Dan is Team Dandy.
So Team Dandy in second, and Doug and I in 3rd, if I have my scores correct. So here we go. Yep. Coming down to the nitty and the gritty. First, new customers over at GBank, because they're always up in the ante, get up to a $750 bonus. You got to spend $1,000 on eligible purchases within 90 days. That's $250 bonuses. In addition, $50,000 on gaming and sports app loads. You're going to receive another $500 bonus. Together, $750 worth of bonuses. Apply now at VSiN.com/GBank. That's VSiN.com/GBank. Subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply. VSiN.com/GBank. Where are you going to watch the rest of the Masters?
Well, I think Saturday probably at home or at the Westgate Superbook. Probably this weekend, maybe come down to the circuit for a while. But, golf is on for so many hours. This morning I watched it at home on the phone for the first 5 hours.
Do you have cable or what?
I got DirecTV.
Oh, the first 5 hours.
First 5 hours. Starting early in the morning, you can't get the coverage on TV. I watched it on my iPhone for the first 5 hours.
Why?
Huh?
Why do they do that? Why?
It's crazy.
I don't
We've been talking about this for 40 years.
I know. Let's check in on the Super Bowl halfway through the first quarter.
By the time ESPN came on with his live coverage,
Justin Rose was done.
Most of the key players were off the course.
So, unlike you,
finished.
do you have a smart TV?
Yeah.
You have an ESPN Plus account?
I know. I have to figure out how to link it up.
Pay me $100. I'll go do it.
When I get done scrambling eggs tomorrow morning, I'm going to look into that.
Because I had it on the TV. I was able to watch because I have technology. But either way, it's ridiculous.
I know.
You have to hunt for – we're asking, let's watch your thing. Nope, let's check in at halftime where Justin Rose is already done with his round, and you guys get to watch the back half of this thing. I don't understand.
That is asinine.
Or sorry, the forward front or whatever the hell we're supposed to call it.
you flip on ESPN and Sports Center at Augusta, and they're interviewing people and showing no live golf. You go to the Golf Channel, and they're on the range. They're showing guys hit ball on the range.
You know what's driving me nuts is I'm watching, and obviously you have Justin Rose, and every time they're showing the score, Bryson DeChambeau is just coming up, and I'm like, can I see it?
No.
I don't know what's happening.
You have to wait 3 hours to see the highlights.
Dude, it was driving me insane. You just see him it was absolutely nuts. All right, last check-in here. 88.9% of voters say that they make scrambled eggs. Sorry, man. I think you lost out on this one.
I just don't believe that's accurate.
Yep. Actually, up to 89%, and we have crossed the 500-vote threshold. No. Polls have closed, and Matt Youmans is absolutely incorrect.
Incredulous.
Unbelievable. Coming up next, Sports Gambling Podcast. Gents will take it from here. 2 guys that I know make scrambled eggs on a regular basis. That is for sure. Go to VSiN.com/subscribe. Check out everything we have to offer up on the website. See ya.